Welcome, 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 welcome. Everybody that's subscribed to the page, it's time to get it on. It's your boy Carcino here. Yes, all my YouTube fanatics. It's great to see ya. Oh, we got something very important that's going to be going on today and something that's going to be going on the Patreon today. Stay tuned. It's Saturday. Oh, yes. Dame Dash was right. And this is going to back up a whole lot of things that we were talking about early on. Because a lot of people weren't privy to the situation at hand and wasn't privy to what Dame Dash was talking about. Yeah, I have those feelings when I hear stuff like that. When I see people say different things about the combination. No, naturally, they people feel that way because there's some things that went on that does not align with how they view the things that's happening in the world. You see, Dame Dash was right about his connections, and we're going to get to that, all of it. So while we're getting things set up here to go, I think it's time now we drop the intro. Hi, I'm Carcino. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Now, you know what I find very interesting is that there's so many people out there that don't like what you do. They don't even want to show my thumbnail. That's how bad it is when I'm sharing the video to people. And I'm like, for real? That's what we doing? All right. So it looks like Jay Z and his people are playing dirty games again. But that just shows you how wicked this system is. Now, he actually told people, meaning Dame Dash, about the situation that was going on with Roc Nation and Jay Z. And he's pointed out, like, Charlemagne must be doing something else because Charlemagne was acting very different. Like, we haven't seen Charlemagne act like that with a guest in a very long time. Due to his new position he's trying to get to politically, he has been very selective on who he was going to mess with and who he wasn't in that nature. He's never been like this in years. Though he chose to make Dame Dash his target, or in other words, the butt of his jokes. Doing something he hasn't done in years. But why would he do that? That seemed very random. And that didn't get past Dame. Let's listen.
So let me say this. This is my assessment. I've never heard you say one thing bad about Jay Z, not one.
He's not in the room. We shouldn't talk about it.
Don't tell me what to do.
You said you shouldn't talk about men
Now
when they're not in the room.
you're interrupting me.
Now you're doing the girl stuff.
I know him. I'm giving you an example, right?
You used to know him.
Can I talk? You upset? Can I talk? Can I talk? I've never seen you say one word, because you talk bad about a lot of people, but you never said one time. And you walk around with his face on your chest. Is that a airplane shirt right now?
Airplanes, yeah. I wore CEO stuff.
Can I finish? No, I never seen it. Let me finish.
What you mean?
Let me see.
You gave us.
Can I talk? Can I land the plane? Let me land the plane.
I can't wait.
Let me land the plane. So I'm thinking to myself, either you got a crush on this man or he's paying you. One or the other. I'm not gonna lie.
Now, either you got a crush on this man or he's paying you. Something ain't right here. Now, that's too ridiculous for words. He has nothing to do with no loss in any insurance money. He's not attached to Aaliyah's finances at all. Now, here's the big picture, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Z and Rockefeller, not Rockefeller, but Rock Nation, right, was revealed by Noah Scatchman to uncover that they had an opportunity and they were partners in. Charlemagne is in a partnership with Rock Nation. That's right. Along with Alicia Keys and a host of others. Now, here's the news. Do you remember when Desiree Perez got in trouble with her daughter? And her daughter's on tape talking about her mom falsely put her and made up lies to have her arrested and get her locked up. Y'all remember that, right? Do you remember how everybody talked about this on their platform? Why is it the Breakfast Club is not talking about this story? You can't find that story on the Breakfast Club damn near nowhere. So Angela Rye, who works along with Charlemagne, Angela Rye is a so-called activist, defender of the left, political connections with the Obamas and Michelle Obama and all of the media, black media that's pro-left with Jamel Hill and things of that notion, right? So what she goes ahead and does is create something that is so vile, it does not make any sense, but it brings something to the table. Why doesn't it make sense? When it should, right? Because you're like, wait a minute, this is not adding up. But why isn't it adding up? Why is this show being protected? But mainly, it's being protected by one individual, where the rest of them seemingly like they don't care. Mm-hmm. That's because most people don't understand what's going on over there in their lives. They're spiraling. No, they're spiraling out of control. They don't have the people to back them like you think. So they have to get investors. Yeah, it was a monumental change that went on. Do you want to know why all of these things start to line up? Is because what they did was have a private meeting, right? His team, his management, and what Noah Shackman decided to do is report on it. And what he reported on was the connections between Jay Z, Charlemagne, and Alicia Keys. And they were battling the city of New York, who didn't want a bunch of Negroes coming down to Manhattan, opening a casino. So this is like Sam Rothstein not getting a license. See, Jay Z tried to go to Manhattan and open up a casino, and it didn't work. But very carefully, you see, when Noah Shackman discovered that Jay Z had recruited everyone from Alicia Keys to Al Sharpton to Charlemagne the God to land a $5.4 billion gambling palace in New York Times Square. And he didn't count on one thing being in the way: theater kids. And there are not a lot of theater kids. It's a lot of theater people who are old and white people who travel internationally to see plays. They don't want a big casino down there bringing in a younger, wilder audience. So they lost a vote 4-2 on the casino. And it was a big riot that went down because of it. People were losing their minds, going off. And Jay-Z's big move, all these years in development, just blew up in his face. Now, when you start to figure it out and you start to analyze, how did this blow up happen? How did they let this happen? This does not seem like something that would capture the imagination of the public. So when they got denied in their bid to get the casino, it shocked everybody.
And they had planned and proposed to do this at 1515 Broadway. And, you know, The community advisory board decided in a 4-2 vote that this wasn't something that was going to happen. Now, we do have audio from a meeting that went down yesterday following this decision. Let's take a listen to that.
You know it. We met the standard and then some, and the only one with courage to stand up is the governor and the mayor appointees, and everybody else runs and hides. Go run and hide. Because what you did, the benefits you denied this community and this city and state, you have to live with that history forever.
If it was meant to be, it would have been. But I just wonder, how does that state board justify not wanting all those hundreds of millions of dollars being invested into that community? Like, who's going to make that kind of investment into Times Square in that community now?
Now, Charlemagne is one of the investors into this casino. Yet he's not telling people he's one of the investors into the casino. So while they're bringing this up, he's like, well, who's going to talk about who else going to bring hundreds of millions into that community? The community of Manhattan? Your hundreds of millions of dollars, they're not going to let Jay Z, who's sitting at the head of the table, dictate what's going to happen in New York. Yet he did that whole big song with Alicia Keys, New York, New York. They had a plan to perform the song on the casino nights opening. They had all of this set up. And the mayor and the governor both were on board, and they both lost. How do you lose when you have the mayor of New York and you have the whole mayor of Manhattan, whatever, and the governor on your side? How do you lose? You know how you lose? You lose because you play the wrong game. You lose because you get in a situation that is not ideal for you. You lose because the people who were connected to you are no longer connected to you. It's been a farce. Jay Z thought he had power. And because he had the mayor and the governor, the casino was a lock. But there's a room where there's 6 people voting. How do you not know that? How do you not know you don't have the votes? Because Rock Nation doesn't know what they do. They don't know what they're doing. They know bullying, bribing, and bullshit. No, they were on board. The mayor was on board, and the governor were on board to sign off on this casino. Because what mayor would not agree to having hundreds of millions of dollars go into the city of Manhattan being funneled through a casino? Again, this wasn't going to do anything for the urban youth. This wasn't going to do anything to help build up the projects. See, unlike Nas' casino move, did you see Nas get denied? No, because he was part of an investment team that knew what they were doing. See, Jay Z was too loud. He wanted to sit at the head of the table and get this whole thing done. See, Noah Scatchman had broke it all down and exposed Charlemagne before anybody in the world even knew Charlemagne was involved. No one even knew it. He was silent about his investment into this casino. They promised tens of billions of dollars, thousands of jobs for the city of New York, and the fate of New York's iconic industry and this tourist trap, all of it. But it's going to revolve around one man, Jay Z. Jay Z got a new album coming out that was supposed to celebrate this entire launch of the casino and everything. He had bars ready to go. Now I don't know what's going to happen to the album. Oh, he was feeling himself. 100%. He was ready. Now, because Jay was 100% ready, it doesn't mean, oh, well, the album's dead, because Jay didn't want it no more. Well, Jay-Z, now they're trying to figure out what it is they're going to do. But they have all these politicians on the left wing on their show, right? But you know what they never did? They never sat there to ask the actual questions. They assumed. They said, well, we got the governor. That's it. That's all we got to do. You think the governor and the mayor run New York City, Manhattan? You better guess again. Then guess what else you better guess? You better guess and try to find a way to figure out why is it or how come the issue never rectified itself? How did this blow up in your face and you not know it or not see it coming? It was all there for you to see. How did you blow it? Jay-Z's supposed to be one of the best businessmen in the world, right? Isn't that what they tell you? Nobody's smarter than Hov. Hov the smartest man in business. Look at Jay-Z's business moves. This is what they sell you, right? Jay the smartest man in the world. Oh no, he got a whole dissing Dame Dash out. He got a lot to talk about now. He got to talk about the lawsuit, the Diddy thing. He got a lot to talk about. Trust me. And Dame Dash came up there not even mentioning Jay-Z. You don't want to mention him. He went up there. You wanted to bring it up because you wanted to engage and trigger him to appease Jay-Z. A guy who doesn't care one way or another. But you want to show your loyalty because you're not a boss, Charlemagne. You're a lapdog. And because you're a lapdog, this is the way you chose to move. Jay wasn't happy with the way this went down. But let's listen now to Charlemagne, who's not even revealing he's one of the people on the board.
I'm not for sure.
Like and the
or one of the investors.
And I love going to Broadway. I go to Broadway plays all the time. I take my daughter to Broadway plays, but that Broadway audience is very, very old. I don't know if Broadway is attracting a younger audience. So what's going to happen 5 years from now? What's Times Square going to look like?
I'm not for sure. I can tell you though. Well, first of all, that audio that was SL
The CEO of SL
yeah,
Green.
the CEO of SL Green, Mark Holliday, and it was a six-person committee that he was speaking to that decided to make that vote. Now, I will tell you, people are pretty upset. Like there are people who are upset that people even wanted this to happen in the first place, as we know. But there are people that feel like it should have happened. But there are people who are mad that things like this are happening. That this CEO, but then also Des Perez, who is Jay Z's right hand, are coming out and making statements about this, stating that, this is something that the community needed. So we received a statement from Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez, and she was responding to the bid being denied. And she said, "Thank you to Governor Hochul and Mayor Adams for standing up for NYC. Unfortunately, not every politician has the courage and the foresight to do what's right for their constituents."
As you can see, as you can hear, Desiree Perez, they read Desiree Perez's statement, right? But when Desiree Perez's daughter was calling her out for falsely imprisoning her, making up claims and lying, none of this was covered on the Breakfast Club? You know he got that call. I'm not saying Jay called Charlemagne himself, because I don't think he would talk to Charlemagne like that. But can you imagine how that call would go right before they air in the morning? Charlemagne, hello. What's up? It's Hove. Oh, Jay? What's up? Well, what can I do? It's been a lot of vicious stories out there about Desiree Perez and her daughter. That's personal. That's personal family. That's a sick child. We don't want anybody to, promote and throw flames and throw gas on the fire. We already got enough demons doing that. So we don't want y'all to participate. We would appreciate if you didn't participate. Oh no! Hey, tell you the truth, I just saw it on social media. I don't know anything about it. So at the end of the day, people had to make a decision. So now, at the end of the day, people got to make a decision. They got to go off on their own. They got to do different situations that apply to them and them only. Yeah. I know. They're not in generally doing something. Sorry, I just got some emails. Now, when they say word to Big Bird, what are they talking about? No. That's crazy. Because see, y'all smarter than that. Y'all are smarter than that. Come on now. Now, word to Big Bird. Now, they said Big Bird was Jay Z. He was Big Bird. But I was just being funny. But Charlemagne gonna go, I ain't gonna get involved. No, I ain't gonna cover that. So he ain't gonna get involved at all. So naturally, Hov gonna say, "Well, we appreciate you. You know, we got this casino thing coming up. You know, keep that on the low. Yeah, Angela get in contact with you or Desiree, and they'll give you all the details. And, we want you to be a part of this. It's gonna be a big movement for New York. So having you involved just, bring you to the big table." Oh yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. All this bleaching my skin, everything, man. I've done everything. Yep, dieting. I did everything y'all talking about. So now, Charlemagne is snuffing him up. Yeah, well, he might as well be. Now, well, the closing days of year-long fights and all this stuff that's been going on, right? And Mark Holliday, who's the CEO of one of the largest commercial real estate firms, is the big head of this whole thing, right? Not Jay Z, but Jay Z's the biggest face. Mark Holliday is the small guy that they're making, but he's the guy that's going to be getting a large portion of this casino, right? But saying everybody has a seat at this table, and Jay Z is at the head. So Hov, through his entertainment firm, Rock Nation, he poured hundreds of millions of dollars into a stake in the project. CEO Desiree Perez and Rock Nation, they joined his company, which is SL Green and the Caesars Entertainment, and spending millions and millions on promoting it. And sometimes worry, lawmakers and bureaucrats, and the public goal is to secure one of 3 licenses for casinos in the New York City area, right? Now, why didn't this go down? So they said Roc Nation poured hundreds of millions of dollars into this project. According to Desiree Perez, then they joined Holiday's connection, which means that Jay Z and Roc Nation went and got all of these people together, all of their artists that they represent, to put in their bid, mixed with everybody else, to get to the 5.4 billion. So the money wasn't the issue. Right, exactly. Here's the thing. You went and did all of these moves. I would have thought Jay would have been left the United States and moved to London. But he's not an international star like that. That's why I keep trying to tell people he needed Beyonce. Jay didn't do any international tours until his album run was over. 50 Cent first album, he did an international tour. That's why 50 Cent is bigger internationally. And a lot of people wouldn't believe that. But because if it was Jay and Beyonce now, that's the only reason that they're known. Beyonce got him known overseas. He couldn't get booked for shows overseas. And this dude had, Dirt on My Shoulder. He had every hit album there was. If there was any rapper that should be booked overseas for a tour, would be Jay Z. He's not going, you ain't got to worry about him disrespecting. You don't got to worry about him violating or getting in a fight. You was good. That was the safest guy you could have on your tour. She wasn't forced to. She felt obligated to. You see, a lot of y'all think of Beyonce as this powerful black woman. She was an airhead. That's why Beyonce doesn't do too many interviews. Think about it. Why you don't see Beyonce doing a lot of interviews? Because she was not a smart girl. She was an airhead. Mm-hmm. Because when people have real friends, do you know what happens with real friends? Real friends leave footprints on your heart. They come through because they got genuine love for you. They come through because they really care about you. They come through because they want to be there. Now, what you don't know and what you don't hear or what's not related to you and you don't really connect with, is the same thing that ends up trying to destroy you in the long run. So when you start saying, well, let me see the insights of what's going on here. Let me get the parameters of what's happening. The parameters are they didn't take care of business. And because they didn't take care of business, they're looking at you like, well, why weren't you taking care of business? Surely you should have been taking care of business, right? It would not make sense for anybody else to be doing something and not taking care of the business. This is why when you see more than half of the people who said we need to get conversions into a display of from like impressions to conversion, you want to see how many of those people that you put all this impression on are actually turning to your side. Now, for him to go off on Dame Dash like that and to choose Dame Dash to go off on like that, Dame came in prepared. He came in ready to go at it with Charlemagne, and he exposed their whole system. Rather than try to explain his reasoning, he just knows he has to be against Donald Trump because the people he represents is against Donald Trump. When he was supposed to be an independent, and they told him, hey, Charlemagne, you better watch it. And this is Kamala Harris when he did that interview. And they was like, oh, they trying to act like her audio though. They was like, look, stop playing. This is when Biden was the president and she was the vice president. He was trying to go on both sides because he was trying to get a television show that got torpedoed by his past transgressions that HBO didn't know anything about. And Angela Rye had basically okayed for him to get this, to try to bring him into a new light. But all his past trash and the way he made it on social media, being basically a gossip girl. And Dame went live on the air to expose his homophobic play with DJ Envy and all of these things that they keep throwing, these innuendos that they're throwing out there. And he was like, is that cool? And to go out and call that man gay live, that's one brave in this day and age to be able to do in this time and this culture we're in. Dame didn't give a damn. He called it straight down the line. Now on the Patreon, we got something very explosive with Jay Z and Rock Nation. So that's going to be on the Patreon VIP, and it involves Meg Thee Stallion. And all I do is give y'all the details. Now, of course, man, everybody knows that about Charlemagne. Charlemagne will do anything to be famous and to remain famous. He knows he's a shock jock for radio. That's it. But like Dame says, what do you have to show for it, Charlemagne? Where's your big $1 million house? Where's your pool? Where you at? You got to come in there every day at like 5 a.m, sit there for 5 days a week in that chair, in that hot office, and you've been doing that for 30 years, sitting in there doing the same thing over and over. You don't even get to enjoy the qualities of your life. Where's your riches? What is you doing for your children's riches? And what are they doing? How does that align up for you? And you want to laugh and say Dame Dash is broke. But yet, this man has a family office. He gets to fly around the country, do all the things that he's doing, building what he's building. So you was like, oh, that's all rented. Okay. That's what people with no money trying to talk about people with a lot of money or no business sense whatsoever try to make fun of those people, and they have no clue of what they're talking about. And it's evident because of the statements they say. Oh, that's rented. Oh, that's nothing. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, no, that's nothing. That's fake. Oh, yeah, hit the like button up too. We should have way more likes than this. That's not even normal. Hit the like button. You on the Patreon, hit the heart button. Hey, I'm going to tell you like this, because I want y'all to know something. They try to be gatekeepers for a lot of you. When they open up again, I'm going to do something for you guys on my Patreon. You know what I do. I'm going to open y'all back up to the fun and see if we can get more people in. Now, my thing is this. All of those people who were interestedly invested in these situations, they're not going to be someone that is suffice. You know, people always say they want something from you. And it's like, what do they want from you? Like, what are they trying to get from you? Right? It's always a heartache. It's always a major problem. There's always this bad connection when it comes to doing these type of things. So when they want to get things into perspective, they normally let people know. Thanks, Byron Jackson. I appreciate the Cash App. My Cash App is Carcino. The banner has been probably running below you the whole time and you didn't even notice it. But yes, thank you, man. I appreciate the Cash App. Well, people who do have money normally they say these things because of an agenda. Now, when he brought up he had a family office, Charlemagne had nothing in reply to it because he didn't understand it. Now, why wouldn't Charlemagne understand it? Because it's out of his mind it's out of his pay grade, it's out of everything that he would know. So all he knows is to talk down upon it. When Dame Dash says Trump had filed for bankruptcy about 6-7 times, right? He's now a billionaire and it's the president of the United States. And you say he's not a good businessman. And Charlemagne like, nope, he isn't. And he was like, that's just showing you how stupid you are. Right there. You just exposed how stupid you are. Yeah, he was able to get envy because they got involved in real estate scams. Because anything to get some fast money, they saw envy as the idiot they could use. Right. They brought Choke up there on the Breakfast Club. That went left. No, but here's the thing. If you listen to Charlemagne the God, you're a fool. And that's how I listen to it. I mean, the guy is a puppet. So when you listen to people who are puppets, they're only going to tell you whatever the bosses and the masses want them to tell you. No matter what shirt they try to pull on. Now, Charlemagne is a politician and they talking politics. Yeah, I got my new show. We talking politics. Every show Charlemagne has gotten his fault has failed. They ain't gonna tell you about that though, right? The B effect and all that, the black effect. Yeah, we got the black effect with all the black podcasters. Yeah, he ain't telling you about that. Ain't the panning out well. There's only 24 hours in a day. There's only so much people can watch at one time. Right. It's only so much people can just say, hey, I'm finna watch this and I'm done. And then I tell you, they bring all these people up there with all of this insight. Like they have all these politicians and the people that's on the ground level voting because they trying to act like they political and they're aware, they're woke. I'm woke. I stay woke. So they got all these woke people up there, right? Let's see what's going on now at the 6-panel vote. Superseded the governor and the mayor. That means somebody didn't do their due diligence. Somebody did not see or have the awareness to know that there was a change in the weather. How Jay is such a great businessman, why weren't you aware of this? If Jay was such a great businessman, why didn't all his profit and wealth came off of dang businesses? Rockaware, the sale of Rockefeller. You came off the brow of Dame's concepts and ideas. Armadale Vodka. Where were your ideas? Where was your brilliance? We didn't see it, bro. You just scribble your name in front of stuff and act like it's yours. Yes, hit the like button up, y'all. So some of y'all just got in here. Let's hit that like button up so they'll know this is real. Now let's listen. They got somebody in the room who has knowledge and could help them, and they hadn't even went to this person. They totally forgot that person's in the room.
Like I said, 5 years from now, what is Times Square going to look like? Who is going to make this kind of investment in the Times Square? When you look at all the benefits that they were going to provide, all of the dollars that they were going to provide, where's that money going to come from now? Like, what is Times Square going to look like 5 years from now?
Times Square is going to look like the same way it's always looked. Where's Times Square going to be in 5 years? It's going to look the same way it looks right now. And that's the way they want it to look. Your plan opens up the doors to bring people from other boroughs, from the hood, down there to Manhattan. They didn't want that. And once again, Charlemagne, you don't mention you're one of the investors into this project. But like Dame says, like, you never have nothing negative to say about Jay. Even when his case was going on and they were bringing up all these charges on Jay Z, you still had nothing negative to say about Jay. Ever. They find that kind of weird. Mm, mm, mm. Why they don't have the same energy? That's what be on my mind. Like, where did the energy go? Where's the people with the wherewithal, right? Where did that go? Where all that rah-rah go? But why ain't you telling people you an investor, Charlemagne? That's key. Because now you in partnership with Jay Z. So clearly you're not going to talk bad on somebody who's your business investment partner, and you're talking about the plan getting denied, but yet you're not admitting to any of the dealings. That's pretty strange. It's pretty strange. But let's listen, because somebody's in the room.
Oh,
hold on, wait. Let him get your mic up. Go ahead.
Tesla Figueroa's in here as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to say this because we're talking about people being appointed and voting. This is why voting local matters.
Mhm.
You know, so we spend a lot of time talking about what's going on with the president, what's going on with Congress. This is what actually makes a difference, guys. Local politics. When you talk about 6 people on the board being able to make this type of decision of billions of dollars, this is how you look into who got appointed. How did they get on the board? How do you vote them in or out? So just wanted to throw that out there, guys. If you want to make a difference, get involved in the local level.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Tamara Figueroa was sitting right there, and they didn't even know. They damn near forgot she's sitting there. This is somebody that can give you insight to exactly what is going on. She's sitting right there, and you didn't even think to go to her. She had to interject in. He was, oh, yeah, Tamara Figueroa is here. You just thought about that? You just thought about Tamara Figueroa was sitting right there. That should have been first. She should have been talking, because what she said in just 12 or 15 seconds was all what you should have said, period. Local elections. Everybody talking about the president, the congressmen, all the time. This is what I've been telling you. What are you doing in your own community? What is affecting you? Who is your alderman of your ward? Who's your congressman? Who's policing you? Who is in charge of your section? And what are you doing to get money out of them? Or something for your community? You worried about the president of the United States, but you got a crack all the way up and down your streets, your sidewalk, and it ain't been fixed in years. Because you don't pay attention to local elections and where the money and funds are being allocated and where they're going to. Because if y'all don't claim them, they just reallocate the money somewhere else. Y'all ain't nobody saying nothing. Nobody watching it. I ain't gonna let the money sit here or reallocate it to my pockets. Meanwhile, you just thinking somebody just gonna come over there and just start doing work one day without your involvement. See, I learned this early by watching people in our community get involved. We got people such as my grandmother and grandfather who just voted. They didn't get involved. And whatever they would come by, the Democrats come and say, they just went along with it. That was it. But the other neighbors weren't like that. They were progressive thinkers. Some people was like, hey, wait a minute. I don't agree with this. And my neighbor was one. They called him confrontational. Oh, he just want to be different from everybody else. No, well, that wasn't it. He actually had a valid point. They wanted to pave the ways and pave the alleys and the streets and make everything into cul-de-sacs and saying it's going to stop crime. It's going to limit drive-bys. Everybody's like, yes, drive-bys. It limits drive-bys, and then kids got a place to play. When has a cul-de-sac been a playground? When have we in this city had a problem with drive-bys in Chicago? Nobody's driving by over here. You've been to hit a bump and hit your buddy in the back of the head. Nobody's doing drive-bys in Chicago. I mean, definitely in the 90s. So they use these triggering words to get people to buy in. So they held another meeting that cut out all the people that had issues. And once they were cut out, they were left out. But the people down the street that had the block party, they knew better. They said, oh, no, 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 no. We have our own block club. Everybody on here, we have a responsibility. Our grass is getting cut, period. Our streets is going to be taken care of. We got the votes over here. We control the commissions. Each person literally had 100 people behind them that was in that community that they talked to make sure that that congressman and that alderman of that ward, if he wanted to get reelected in that local election and had a support, you better be doing something. You better come to the town hall meeting. You better explain yourself to these people. You better tell them what you planning on doing with this money. They were on their head. And you know what the alderman said? Shoot, you keep me in office like y'all doing? Shoot, I don't mind coming over here. Y'all need that done? They street was perfect. Concrete done perfect. New lights with poles on it just for that block. The rest of the hood can go to hell. They didn't care. These people over here was making it happen. And it's the local election. My uncle is in the political game now. My Uncle Andre. He running for another office. So I'm telling you, it's people out here doing things and trying to make a difference. And they're aware of how this game really works. Now, if 6 people, like she said, could defer billions of dollars over supersede the governor and the mayor, that shows you where the real power lies. The real power doesn't lie with the governor. The real power doesn't lie with the mayor. The real power lies with those 6 individuals that made that decision. Those 6 people that made a decision to throw off billions of dollars in revenue with no problem. They got to vote. How? Who elected them? How did they get there? You know who put them there, right? The real people that run things. They put them there. None of them live in New York. Let that sink in. They dictate what's what. They don't care about how much money you raise. They don't care about who backing you, your feelings. They don't care about that. Everybody is a genius. Everybody's got a plan. Everybody's got this great idea that's supposed to mean something. Right? Everybody's an expert. Listen, I've seen a lot in my day, to be honest. But nothing I've seen tells me more than what we just witnessed. Because the fact that when they brought up that either that man is paying you or you just in love with him. There's no way he could go. Like, what do you bring that man up for? He was like, I know this man. Like, he was not no more. It's like, dude, you doing a lot that you shouldn't even be trying to do. You getting extra for no reason. And you look desperate doing it. Seriously, it's a horrible look for another man. Everybody thinks that they're the smartest person in the room, right? Everybody think they know what works. But how come Desiree Perez was on every major network, right? But when it came to Power 105, they never mentioned Desiree Perez and her daughter's situation. That should have been front line and center. That was the biggest news out. There was threats of her stepping down because they had the casino deal online. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of these people are not going to answer your questions because they don't have the answer for your question. That's why I say, and I tell people all the time, you need to understand, not everybody moves at your wavelength. People move at their own pace for their own reasons. Whether it's selfish or not, that's the decision that they chose. And because they choose these decisions, they are forever left in this vortex of bullshit. Why don't you ever see these people speak about others in a way that's positive? Why don't they ever speak to people with a notion that resembles success? Right? It's real simple. Look at the ones that's winning, who are really winning. Take a good look at them. They don't even have to mention any other person on the globe. They talk about themselves. They talk about what they're doing. They talk about charities. They talk about all of these different acts. You know why? Because they're the energy. They're the vibe. People want to get to know what they're doing. How they doing that? How they pulling that off? That looks amazing. That's great. That's wonderful. Way to go. Proud of you. Those are the words that people need to be going by. Would I ever do business with Dame Dash? Probably not, but it depends on what the outlook of the... See, that's the thing. People talk about who runs for office. It's about you're governed by the policies that they create. So it's all about the contract and the deal itself. I get offered a deal every day. Every day I'm offered a deal. Because nobody wants to take the chance to see if another person is right or wrong. They just jump all the way in. People are tired, B. They real tired. There's so many people waving their tongue or wagging their tongue and don't know what they're talking about. That was just 2 months ago about Desiree Perez and her daughter. About 2-3 months ago. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Knockout told you that.
The history of most of the people that got in trouble in the industry, big trouble, who they went to for help? That's true. When Lil Wayne was in trouble, who did he go to? When Meek Mills was in trouble, who he go to? Meek Mills said it himself. Desiree helped me.
Real life.
Ooh, Desiree helped me.
That don't have nothing sitting home. Where you gonna be if you don't get on this side of town, get on this side? I can see that conversation happening. And a nigga move all his integrity and morals to the side.
Yep.
To take care of his family. After he just did 12 years. I can see that. But I don't see, and what I couldn't put past me, is Emery coming to me. Just on some real nigga shit. This is what hurt when I say, when you expect niggas that treat you the way you treat them, and they don't work that way.
That's the worst thing you could ever do in the world.
You know, because I could have expected a nigga to come to me and say, look, man, I don't know what Jay tripping off of. He's still tripping off of that, this, that, and the third. I'm not really with that, but you can't tell him I'm fucking with you. So this is what I'm gonna do. Boom, 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 we work from there. Real nigga shit. But to act like, yo, I'm gonna join forces and do the same thing and play this shit like this, come on, man. That's humiliating. And now I got you as a yes man. Like, yo, bro, you couldn't even speak up for me. You know what I'm saying? So all of that shit is twisted. And that's how all those conversations, that's how they think of us. They like, really, those guys talking about snitching this and that, they ain't, what you worried about them for? They don't be in our parties. You know what I'm saying? That them numbers are crazy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You can't put this shit to the side and say, yo, this is what we gonna do.
Right.
It's something way deeper. And that's why I talk about it.
Now, when you listen to that, no, you know, it's enough. It's enough for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's about what they want you to have. I told you, I watched the guy walk away from the table because he didn't want one guy making $50 million. He gonna make too much money in the deal. I'd rather blow the deal up. I'm already rich. I don't want that guy making no money. Not off me. Not off this deal. I was like, that's crazy. How would you walk away from that kind of money? Because he was already rich. All money wasn't good money to him. There are a lot of differences that was put into place. Mm-hmm. No, I never agree with that. Right. Listen to Headache break it down to you.
Is it just this?
Right.
Because this is all I know. Because if it ain't that, is that? Is it the snitch? Is it your informant friend? Did they come to you or did they get you? When did they get you?
Right.
Is that what you hiding? Is that what it is? Because this don't make no sense.
So that would be the question. What is it?
What is
Why?
it?
Why did you do this to me?
That would be the only question. Why?
Why do you think? Why do you think?
Why
Because
could
the
he do
switch
this?
up sounds crazy.
I just said that he didn't know how to handle it.
So
bro.
you get out of jail, he start rocking with the other side.
It was already rocking. I had to put two and two together later.
Did he try to backdoor you?
It's almost like this. Like I said, you see the You Ain't No Cop J. Rude post. It's almost like, when did they come to you and say, yo, look, we're gonna let you rock. Somebody gonna have to take the fall though. You understand? We got Emory and such, and we're gonna throw DeHaven in because I wasn't around for that investigation. So we're gonna throw DeHaven in. So when they threw me in, and as the case revels, Emory take his plea deal, my other co-defendant take his plea deal, and I fight. I'm fighting. I got my lawyer in my ear talking about, yo, if I could get you 20 years, if I can get you 20, would you take 20? Because I ain't got no offer on the table. They want the L from me. And I'm telling my lawyer, nigga, we ain't looking at no paperwork yet. The fuck, what we doing here?
Right.
You understand?
So he was supposed to take the fall. That was the plan. So when you know he's supposed to take the fall, right? For this whole thing that went down, plus he knows so much about Jay. But somebody had to go down. And like he said, he wasn't even around. Like he was basically gone right before this raid came. So how did they get raided? They could easily say it was him because he just abruptly got out of the game before this raid happened. No. I don't know. That's pretty interesting. Well, that's the thing. Most of them don't see it that way.
I ain't looking at no paperwork yet. And I ain't gonna take 20. 20 is life to me. We gonna fight. Then when I do look at the paperwork, I'm not in none of the paperwork. You got this. You got a wiretap for 29 seconds with a snitch calling me, asking me for shit, and then I'm telling him, nah, I don't even know what you're talking about. That's my evidence. I'm gonna use that because he reaching out to me. I ain't doing nothing. So when Eric go do his time and I get out, I fight, I win my case. I win my case and come home. You don't want to talk to me.
You think somebody put a battery in his back? Maybe they put.
You don't want to talk to me. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, what is the reason why you don't want to talk to me?
That's what I'm saying. Somebody got the J. I'm saying.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, them boys, and yo, that's what yo, man. They got me. It was nothing I could do. So why you say you was gonna help me? You know what I'm saying? Then it just don't add up at some point. And then how's everybody going to jail but you?
Right. And how you lose 92 bricks?
Oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait.
The book is coming soon.
Because honestly, the motherfucker that got caught with all of that, they ain't do shit for him. They ain't do shit for him. He home 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. So what I'm telling you is, like I said, bro, them dudes did a lot of shitty shit to people, bro.
Did he really put Preem in the truck and tell him leave them streets alone?
Man, I don't even know. I don't know if he even knew Preem.
What'd you say?
I don't know if he knew Preem. That's like, I'm out the picture about him. If he had any association with Preem, I wouldn't know.
Right.
But that was my folks. So all of that is just music. That's just rap.
Right.
Well, let's talk about his.
How much of his because a lot of his raps are predicated off him being this big drug figure. Mm-hmm. How much of that is really a facade, or did he just fluff?
Nah, it's real.
Okay.
You just asked me earlier.
Yeah.
What make you a boss?
Yeah.
Is the connect. In that case, is the connect. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter who you are.
Right.
You got them things and they cheap. You the man. That's just plain and simple. Now, what comes with that is the shit that comes with that is the wolves.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But you're not built for that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's a lot more. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're not built for that. But yeah, I because he got with a group of people that was a major connect for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see him going that far. But them people are the police.
Right.
Was he?
They the po. Let that sink in. They the police. Yeah. Pretty much that's it. When people say what they're into, what they're not into, this is usually the wave, that people move in. I'm serious, dog. I've never been more serious in my life. That's just how they move. Them dudes, the police. You think, how come everybody else keep getting caught that's around you, but you ain't going down? I mean, don't that sound a little particular? Everybody keep going down, but you? 21 Savage got a problem. He about to get deported. They go to you, a record label. They go to Rock Nation. Meek Mill, right? Rock Nation. Lil Wayne, I got tax problems. We going to Rock Nation. Huh? Where do we do that at? When we start doing that? Why we start doing that? It just don't make any sense. I got fast passports. I'm never going to jail. I did crimes, got away. They want to see me pay. But what he's talking about and what he's alluding to is that how you doing this and you got the whole game under control. Mm. A lot of people, Jay, think he has something to do with Pimp C. I mean, Exactly. So how could Jay get his? I mean, Nas could get his thing done, and Jay Z couldn't. Is the casino? If anybody in here from Queens, is the casino up in Queens yet? Mm. Well, I keep that at notion. I keep a note of that because that's an option. That's really a true story and a true option.
And paid in full, was he? Hold on, was he Ace?
Which one?
Who was Jay? Yeah, was he Ace? That's who his.
Or was he Rico?
Or who was you, Mitch? Or was you Rico?
Oh no,
No, what the hell is this dude talking about? See, this is what happens when young folks start talking about things they don't know about. Jay Z and Dame, that is not the Rockefeller story. Paid in full is not Rockefeller's story. What the hell? This he's like, what the
definitely
hell?
was A. I definitely was A.
Okay.
That life story, I would have thought that would have been my life story almost because the way it starts off with how he in the cleanest, I done all that.
Okay,
the
so
hustle. But yeah, his role, if it was in paid in full, who did the cops come? They came to A, didn't they? And he told them, I don't know how that worked, bro. I don't know. He wouldn't have a role in that, man.
Yeah.
But he you know, I ain't gonna lie, man. He definitely saw some numbers. He also saw a period of the game of what it was like.
So I just got to ask this question before we get out of here. So Jaguar kind of alluded to Jay Z may be next. What is your thoughts when you hear the world like they done took down Puff, they done took down all these other powerful black people? Jay Z's like the lone standing powerful
if you
black
do the
man.
track wrestling on them, Jay is them people. If you do the history on most of the people that got in trouble in the industry, big trouble, who they went to for help?
So he said the casino is already up in Queens. Nas expanded even further by putting 5.5 million in it. It's behind the scenes, and he's willing to be a boss on it. When you say LL Cool J and Nas are the GOATs, he's like, I'm spot on. Well, I just say that Nas people, you know what I'm saying? And I see why Nas didn't do the Jay Z deal, and he did the deal on his own. Floyd Mayweather decided to get down with that Jay Z casino and didn't do the one with Nas. Nas had his own thing putting the casino in Queens. Well, well, you have to definitely look at what he's talking about. Like, they are essentially some of the most premier individuals in the game. But when you're supposed to be a record company, right, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. No. Mm-mm. Well, it didn't move like that. Dane finally realizes he was a pawn. No, it's they pretty much know what was going on. Well, it's a harsh reality. Most people have to come to a realization that there is something not quite unique about the situations that are out there, and I don't know why it needs to be out there. but for some reason, people do it. They take those routes. Well, it's not about that. It's about your actual character that you're choosing to become. Jay couldn't hang around with DeHaven because DeHaven is not going to look at him like all these other people are going to look at him. They're going to treat him like, oh man, that's Hove. You know, see, Bleak and all them, okay, they can conform. Him and Tata, hey man, that's Hove. That's the big homie. He ain't going to be the big homie to DeHaven. You see what I'm saying? To Headache, you ain't going to be able to play that role that you play in front of them. So they don't want those people even around because other people will see it. Like, man, this dude talk to you like that? Yeah, well, we'll see what happens when it finally, come to it. But I'm from Brooklyn, good guy. Headache, cool. Oh yeah, Headache. I've spoken to Headache a few times. Oh yeah, I bought his movie. When Headache put his movie out, I bought that ASAP. That Marcy made was great. Right, he wanted to be the boss. He was in charge. He was the president of Def Jam and didn't make any decisions. My movie review is coming on after this video. So in about 5 minutes on the Screen Thing channel, I'll be going live from the Screen Thing channel talking about the movie Him. No, things get a lot more complicated than that. Not really. He said, I made the decisions when Jay was president of Def Jam. Everyday Playbook. Who are you? Who are you, Everyday Playbook? Let the world know. Who are you in this situation? So he says, oh, so Cino, who made the decisions with Jay? The guy who was the president of the company. Everybody knows that. L.A. Reid. L.A. Reid was the president of Def Jam Records. Mm-hmm.
When Lil Wayne was in trouble, who did he go to? When Meek Mills was in trouble, who he go to? Meek Mills said it himself. Desiree helped me. You understand? So how could he be up next? You know what I'm saying? He is them people. They go to him when they got problems. And what they gonna say if he don't come up in nothing? What they gonna say? Told you, he ain't got nothing to do with that. They still gonna cover it up anyway.
Absolutely. Jay did nothing in those scenarios. Yeah, no. It just died. My PC just died. So, and it wasn't no conspiracy. No conspiracy. The battery died. So I just had to put it on the charger. So anyway, I'm gonna get in this and I'm gonna go to the Screen Fiend. And don't forget, once you go on the Casino for Life channel, on the Patreon, all my Patreons, just get ready for it. You're gonna see something incredible. All right, I'm out.